Hello, Mohammed here from Realty. With me here is Mudo from Mudo Mortgages. We want to talk about something that just fortunately occurred here to someone that came to us, which is regarding pre-construction. This individual has signed an agreement to basically purchase a townhouse that was, that they're potentially now might go under default. So the reason why I want to share this story, not necessarily just about them, but just a learning experience for everybody. And we want to share that with you here, the viewers. And we want to share it from two perspectives. From a mortgage perspective, so that's why we have Mudo here, and myself here talking to you from a real estate perspective, and a little bit about some of the stuff that I was able to get involved with the lawyer. So I can share that with you and hopefully it becomes a good learning experience. So when somebody's looking for a pre-construction, what are some tips you have for them?
So whenever it comes to pre-construction, remember, it's not just about the down payment. Some people think because they can come up with the down payment, it's 20%, they have enough time to come up with the down payment. They think that that's all that is required. Unfortunately, that's not the situation. You will need to qualify for the mortgage at the time of before you possession of the property. So a few things to consider. Sometimes with some banks, you can get a full pre-approval, which basically means they looked at your whole credit situation. They looked at your credit score, your credit file, your income, your liabilities. Everything was checked. They gave you a full pre-approval in writing, and for as long as you need it, for how many years, right? Unfortunately, this is not the case with all lenders. Not all lenders have this situation. Sometimes you can't get a full pre-approval. You will have to wait until before closing to qualify for the mortgage, so you don't know what's going to happen in the future, right? So one thing to consider is try to put a buffer in your qualification. If your maximum qualification is 1 million, then don't go for the full 1 million, because down the road, for instance, if rates go up like what's happening now, then you don't qualify for that 1 million anymore. So that's an uncomfortable situation to be in, obviously. So try to put in a buffer, like go for 800,000 instead of 1 million. That way, even if rates go up, you're still in the clear.
Excellent. Yeah, these are actually very good tips, guys. So keep it in, just kind of summarize that, right? Work within your limits, well within your limits, right? And secondly is talk to certain banks, you said may offer rate holds.
Correct. So it's a full rate hold. You have that rate. Even if rates go up, you will still get that lower rate. So that's an advantage in that regard. And also you already qualified. So even if for any reason your job situation, your income situation is not as good anymore, your credit situation might not even be as good for any reason, you will still qualify. Again, this is not available all the time, but it's worth looking for when you're looking for pre-construction.
Excellent. So from my side of it, I do want to share a few tips that I've come across that I found very beneficial, and I always like to share it with my clients. I want to share it with you here, the viewers. So for example, there is a payment schedule. A lot of times what you see with pre-construction units, especially today when we're looking at rates that are going up, a lot of builders are putting very attractive payment schedules. Only pay $25,000 now and 5% up until closing, which means you can only pay 5% for a unit that's over $1 million and wait for 2-3 years until it's finished and then pay the balance. So a lot of people are saying, okay, great, I don't have to, I can just pay 5%, I can secure the price and I'm happy. You have to realize something. A lot of times what I've seen is, well, recently this case that we just talked about actually is the individuals don't have the remaining 15%. So realize any mortgage over $1 million will have to be 20% down payment. So make sure you have all that money secured, whatever you're going for, even if it's an 800,000 unit, whatever it is, make sure you have all of the amount that's needed for qualifying, have it in your pocket, have it in your bank, I should say, not something that you have to sell an asset for or something like that. What that does is it reduces your liability. You don't have to now worry about offsetting selling some other property to get this new property. So that's one simple tip. Secondly is make sure the payment schedule, you are staying well within your payments. So what I mean by that is, if it tells you to pay $50,000 now and in 6 months pay another $50,000, you have to have that money ready and be sure to pay it. If you're under default, you can potentially risk even being able to offload the unit. So when you try to offload a unit that's not complete, it's called assignment. if you are in default or under default, you actually cannot assign the unit. You have to clear that default first, and then you can consider putting it on the MLS and selling the unit as an assignment. So please make sure you do follow those.
Another thing to consider, I would just add one thing actually, is if you're not able to get that full pre-approval, but you did what you had to do, you put in that buffer just in case rates go up, your qualification goes down, don't wait until the last minute. For instance, if your closing is in December, don't start talking to your mortgage broker or your mortgage professional in November. Remember, banks need time to process their application. They're not just looking into your application. There's a lot of other applications. So I would say for most banks, 4 months prior to your closing, start talking to your bank, start talking to your mortgage lender, your mortgage professional, and that will give you enough time to go through things. And if something pops up, you will be able to manage it.
Excellent. Thank you for that, guys, for listening. Have a good one.